Hello everyone, this is Sincere of Sincere's channel and welcome. This is a impromptu video and I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to put it together. I didn't want to end up and get copyright strikes because it's something that I want to share with you. I had not planned to make another video this week because I try to keep my videos to just weekly, and I had been contemplating whether to just take a break next week. Now I would not be totally honest if I had not said that the earthquakes that happened in Turkey and Syria did not really get to me. Okay, it was expected, as I said in a previous video, but the scale of it was very, very shocking. But in this life, we don't know what might happen. You just there are things that you cannot avoid. Okay, there are things that you can't even plan for. Okay, so we are here, and it's you just don't know. But so I wanted to in this video I want to share, and I'm going to share them in the links because I'm not sure if I show cuts of them from these videos that I won't get a copyright strike and I might not be able to upload. And so I'm going to just provide the links, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about these videos. Okay. Early today, I got news from an old friend that a family member had been in Antakya, which was basically 70% of the city was destroyed by the earthquake last week. And I was really, really shaken. I've been shaken by a lot of stuff recently. There's a lot going on. I'm a person who tries to stay strong. Now, I'm not into this old strong black woman. No, I'm not into that. That's nonsense, because a lot of people that say that, they're the ones that will be the ones that will, just like a group of dominoes, you give them a little shove, they will go right over. Me, I try to, just like I say that I try to be that way. Okay, so this is not some slogan. This is not to get some kind of social media points and clout with anybody. It's not. But, I was really shaken by this. I've known this person for quite some time. And I just, I was just, I'm speechless. And I'm also very, very sad. I already was feeling, pretty down already. But like I said, I'm able to, I'm a person of faith. So I don't like to just get so down and out, because I try to keep my focus up here more than what's going on down here, vertically, not horizontally. So, so I got this news, and, I just, I've heard so much in the last few years, and my mother and I have gone through a lot in the last few years with my father's final illness. My father had almost died in my car back a few years ago. I thought he was dead and stuff after surgery, but that's another story, and maybe I'll talk about that another time, because this is more not about me so much. And if you hear some background noise, they're doing road work out where I live in my neighborhood. But anyway, so I got this news, and then and I thought about it. Then I taught today. Earlier today I taught. I don't do a lot of teaching on Thursday. I have a few students come. One of my students was Turkish that came today, and she doesn't live in southeastern Turkey. She lives in Istanbul. She is from eastern Turkey, but not from the region that was hit. And if you hear some vibration, it's from them out doing the construction. So we were talking today before we did our lesson. And of course, she was shaken. She was sad, and she says, but she's she strikes me as a young woman that knows herself very well, and that she's strong. She's a young. She lives in Istanbul. She's a young engineer. There was immediately a big friendship sort of developed between us because when she first met me, she told me about her love of literature. And she likes chess, and she was telling me about she and her friends, they go on group dates. I think that's so cute. They go on group, her friends, her boyfriend, all of them, they go on group dates. I think that's really nice. And she was telling me about, they had planned to go to a church on the Princess Islands in Istanbul. I think it's a Greek Orthodox church. It's about 200 or so years old. And she said, I wanted so badly to light a candle, but when I got there, they weren't open. We missed the time that they were open. And then later she was telling me about their plans that they were going to go fishing there as a group and do on a boat. They were going to rent a boat and go fishing. So, and she was, we talked about Tolstoy, and she showed me some of her books and Shakespeare. And I love it to see it when young people are, they like things of the intellect. I really enjoy it. I like to see it with anybody. And then she told me also she was a big lover of playing chess, and that her and her boyfriend would play chess. So she's a smart type person, and I like it. And she's, she's not the stereotypical type beauty, just beauty and no brains, but she's smart. She's an engineer, and she's a lovely young woman. She's very beautiful. She's a Azeri Turk. And so today we met, and we were talking, and she said, we're scared here in Istanbul because we think that eventually, they predict an earthquake here. And and I said, yes, I know. I said that there was a documentary I was looking at the other day on DW, which is a German network, and they had done a video, a documentary about the possibility of the preparing for the next earthquake in Istanbul. And so she was saying to me today, we're scared. She said, but life goes on, and it does. Life goes on. Nothing's guaranteed here. Nothing's guaranteed. I will be 61 years old next month, and I know that you can't. It's no need of getting so incredibly attached to things here in the world. In fact, being a Christian person, they teach us this, that we are taught this. Of course, most Christians probably don't follow it, but and particularly, I guess, Western Christians probably don't, but not being so much in love with the things of the world, because it's all temporal, it's all transient. It doesn't last, okay? And so, you can enjoy it while it can as a luxury, but you don't make things into idols. You don't make things and people into gods. You just don't, and stuff. It's not a smart move at all. So, you have to have a level head and understand that, things can happen. And it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. We're not a rock. I'm not a rock. Like I said, I've been shaken by this, but I understand that you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing, as we say here. So, but the videos I want to show you is of some people in Turkey, Syria, and Iraq. Okay. I feel a strong closeness to the Middle East. I've had some Arab students say we feel closeness to black people and stuff. We feel close to black people, and stuff. I had a few tells say I've been invited by a Saudi teenager, come to Saudi Arabia and become a Muslim. I mean, he was serious. He wasn't smiling. He was dead serious on his face. His father was an author and writes history, and he said, "Come here." I was admiring his the wonderful books, his libraries. That's my father's library, and but I do feel a closeness to the region. I feel an extreme closeness to the region. I guess not only because the people are friendly, but I've been reading Bible stories since I was a young child. So I kind of know the Bible up and down. I know the history pretty well, all of that, and stuff. So I feel a strong closeness to the region. And the people. I met people that were really, really nice. I've only been to Turkey. I haven't been to any of the Arab countries. I would like to, but I have people following me in social media that are from those regions. I've made friends with a few online, and and it's great. And I feel that, being a person of a mind and of the, the intellect, and stuff, they appreciate a person, coming from where I'm coming from with my kind of background. So, anyway, but, the videos that I'm going to show you, that I'm going to leave in the link. Okay. I want you to look at them. The first, is of a, young man in Turkey named Osman Yolcu. Okay, and he was in the earthquake area, and he lost 12 family members, which included his mother, his father, his sister, and his wife and son. 12 family members died in the quake, but he was determined that he is going to help other people. And I want you to look at some of the words that he says. He said, he said, I'm going around, I'm helping people, and I tell them, don't complain. And he said, basically, he said what someone said to me, which is a saying from Islam, and it may be from the Quran. I'm not sure. I should have looked it up before making this video. But when my father died, and I put it on Twitter, someone said, "From Allah we come, and to Allah we return." And it is true. From God we come, and to God we return. And this young man basically says the same thing. He said to not complain, that there are people that, basically he's saying, I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. There are people, he said, that have it far worse than I do. This is incredible. After all his loss, he's not sitting around being scared to death. He's not complaining. And I think about, he doesn't feel entitled. I see a lot of entitlement with a lot of Western Christians. It's like God owes me something. And he doesn't. We owe him everything. Okay? We owe him everything. He doesn't owe us anything. We owe him everything. He is not a slot machine. He is not Santa. Okay? We owe him everything. Okay? These people have lost everything just about, but they still have God. Okay? Second video I'm going to put in the link is in a stadium in Latakia, Syria. These people have been left homeless by the earthquake, and if you look in the crowd, you will see adults and children, some of them smiling. And I was talking about this with my mother today, and she said, those people have been through so much. They've been through a war, now earthquake. They're happy to be alive. Yeah. But us here in the West, and those of us who are westernized, we think, oh, I'm so entitled. I'm entitled. This is me. Somebody owes me something. Okay? But these people are happy just to be alive. They're happy with the little things. Okay? Another one, the third one I'm going to show. This is an older video from several years back. Okay? And I'm going to add other videos to it, because the young person in this video has grown up now. But this video was taken several years in Iraq several years ago in Iraq. It was an interview with a young Christian girl from the town of Karakush, which was overrun by ISIS. Okay? And ISIS is when ISIS took over Mosul and ruled Mosul, Iraq, the second largest city in Iraq, for about 2-3 years. Her family fled to Erbil in northern Iraq, to the Kurdish areas, and they were there as refugees. And so little Miriam, okay, which is the name actually that the Muslims, the Arabs call Jesus' mother, Mary, they call her Miriam. Little Miriam is an Iraqi Christian little girl. And the interviewer was asking her about how does she feel about ISIS? She said she totally forgave ISIS. And he asked her, did God love ISIS? Do you think he loves ISIS? She said, yes, he loves ISIS. He only hates Satan. She says, Shaitan. Okay? And she sings a song. And she's just thankful to be alive. And later, much later, Miriam is an older teenager now. Her family was able to go back to their home in their town of Karakush. And I will put the links to some videos, some links to some interviews that have been done with her in recent years. And what struck me is so much about young Miriam was her faith. And later, as a teenager, she said something in one interview. She said that sort of a little documentary was made about her. She said this. She said that my mother told me, if you never have anything else, if you lose everything, you still have God. You still can go to him and pray. Okay, so from a young person, when I was in high school, I saw how a lot of people could be very selfish, take advantage of each other, and I didn't like what I saw. And I remember when I was like 17, 18, I said, I really would like, to be in a convent, become a nun, because it's got to be better than this. Now, of course, I'm not in a convent. And my interest is more in Eastern Orthodox Christianity, not Catholicism. I was a Protestant, but I was in a Protestant church. But I still have that desire, and and I still have the desire to continue to help people. I teach because I love teaching English. I love helping people. Those are the main reasons why. I love the language. I love language, not necessarily just English, but I love language. Okay, we use it to communicate. It's very important. Okay, even God used a language to communicate with us. He used it through his prophets, through writing. So language is very important. And people that break down language and try to break it down into next to nothing, they have an agenda. Okay, because language and writing and everything is integral to being a human being. Okay, so, but anyway, I'm going to end here. I didn't mean for this video to be this long, but look at the videos I'm going to put in the description. Very important that you look at them and think about this, okay? And if you are feeling that, oh, I'm having it so hard where I am, think about what these people are going through and what people like Miriam had to go through to be uprooted from their home by the terrorists. Terrorists that if they had stayed there would have likely killed them or sold them into slavery, because that was going on in Iraq. Okay. So, and think about the people in Syria, what the people in Syria have gone through for the last, let's see, it's been start 2011. This is 2023. So for the last 12 years. And then Turkey, the vastness of the disaster that happened to them. And this young man like Osman Yolcu, who is not saying, oh, woe, poor me, woe is me, poor little me. He's out there trying to help others. Even though what like some people would say, oh, he's lost it all. He lost his wife, his child, his parents, other family members, his home. But he's still out there because he understands, like the Muslims say, from Allah we come and to Allah we return. From God we come from, and to God we will return.